Hi Ziad, thanks for speaking to us today. You're going to be talking about Iraq. Can you tell me where you see some of the key opportunities in Iraq, the investment opportunities?
Sure. Well, Iraq, as you know, is a country that's been kind of frozen in time for 30 years and has gone through multiple wars, sanctions, dictatorships, revolutions, and so this is a country where you find opportunities absolutely everywhere, and in all sectors, whether it's in the oil and gas sector, obviously, which is very important, financial services sector, healthcare, and so on and so forth. There isn't a sector that doesn't need reconstruction and development. However, clearly, you know, from our perspective at Bluegate, we would like to focus immediately on one of the key sectors, which is financial services, because that is the sector that without which you don't really have much growth going on.
And do you find that many fund managers are willing to bear the risk in Iraq at all?
You see, I mean, this is a frontier market, and I remember when I started looking at the MENA region as a whole, you know, the whole MENA region was kind of not on the radar screen, and surely it became on the radar screen. Is today one of the fastest growing regions in the world, and Iraq within that is, if you will, you know, it's MENA on steroids right now, because it's one of the potentially one of the largest oil producing countries. Today they're at 2.3 million. They're going to be at 5-6 million probably in the next 5-6 years, and that makes people stand up and notice. So people are looking. There's a lot of foreign direct investment going on in the oil and gas sector. Even there's a few funds actually that have been recently launched that have attracted money from fund managers, but it were early days still.
And do you have any sort of outlook on what sort of returns investors can expect from these funds at all?
High, very high. I think today, you know, again, you know, what's happening outside the relative play of Iraq compared to, let's say, even in the region, compared to a place like Egypt or compared to a place like Syria, which all had a lot of potential. The returns that you can expect to get in Iraq, I think, are going to be much higher.
You're obviously very optimistic about the region. Is there anything, you know, more that you can do to attract outsiders to come into and invest in the region at all?
Well, I mean, I am optimistic, but I'm very selective in terms of what to invest in. I think there's a lot of problems today in places like places that have gone through, you know, the Arab Spring, where there's a lot of political uncertainty, a lot of social problems that need to be addressed. And on some of those markets, I'm not so positive. However, on some markets where you're starting from such a low base, I mean, people are now, you know, beginning to dust themselves off and think about Libya. Libya is obviously going to be an interesting frontier market to kind of look at. And Iraq is certainly amongst those kind of post-conflict, post-revolutionary strategies, one of the more interesting ones.
Yes, and also with stuff going on in the Eurozone, do you feel that will have any sort of impact on the MENA region at all?
Well, clearly, I think, you know, if you have a global economy which is teetering on the verge of recession, and you have a lot of fear in the market, that lets people be kind of conservative. So I would expect flows to be kind of slow, but still, relative to the size of the funds needed, there will be enough of an investment flow continuing to come to the region. But I think the next year is going to be very much, you know, people are going to want to wait and see.
Wait and see approach. Excellent. Thank you so much for your time on that. Thank you.
Thank you.